don't make that the keli should be able to get the idea of a kemesha who comes to the keli. That it says, "On my slapshas," this that they come together. He bepchinas his galus. He reveals himself. She'eris misgalim ba'keli. How is it? How could kelim get air? They're opposites. The same question as guf and nefesh. How could nefesh be revealed in guf? Guf is legabi nefesh. Guf is moves. It's dead. It's no lively. Nefesh kol kuli chayis. How could they come together? So I always say glasses, but how much we could understand. So here we'd see in the Nimshal he says Lamailo Fahainu Lefisha Kelim Betelim Leiris. The Kelim lose themselves to air. Therefore Vimruim Lekabel says, therefore they're ready to get the air. Let's explain the same thing Benegeya to the Guf and Nefesh. What does it mean a Guf is roy to get the Nefesh? That he's nullified. He's ready to get the Nefesh should shine into him. He doesn't have any self-motive, he's ready to lose himself, the nefesh shine to should become a lebedikir. Once a person loses that touch, the whole idea how a guf is alive is because a nefesh wants to do something, automatically the guf goes. He doesn't have to think twice. Why is it? Because it's not, guf is no say over here. Guf lost itself. The ragged nefesh and guf came together. How was it ready to come in it? Because it lost itself to the air, to the nefesh to be able to reveal himself. So the same thing here. The way that the air comes into keli is because the kelim is bottle iris. It loses himself, even though the kelim, so to speak, has its agenda, has its way of taking things. He says, "No, I want to get the air. I want to get the emes of the Eibishter." And therefore, ve'im ru'yim lekabel seiris al keina iris he'meirim begilu mamash bakli. They shine to the keli, that keli realizes it and hears the pshitas of the Eibishter. They rule over the kelim. They act with the kelim according to what they want, just like by a person megashmias. The kelim b'chal no say the whole who's expressing, air is expressing. The keichatnu is expressing, not the hand. Same when you see a person, you don't even see the person. You see the nefesh. You say hello. You see shalom aleichem. You see the person. You don't see the. You see through the person, right? We see who's speaking. We don't say Shalom Aleichem Shtikl Bosser. Or other people, sometimes people walk around, you can see only suits walking around. You don't see the person in the suit. Or the lavush or the aguf. So the nefesh adam, who's in it? Who are you saying hello to? Even though I saw Sichetre Faket, but anyways. It says if there's something over there, when a person says I, he means his body, he means his physical body. Over there he connects how really the Sheir Shaguf is Natsmas. I'm sure it's connected also over here, that the Kalim is really even higher than the air. That's why the air comes to the Kalim. Over here, how could they connect? There has to have some unity. On both ends there's a bittul. One hand the air should come to the Kalim. Why should he speak to me? He has to have the bittul. We'll see later it's the Kavone. But on the other hand, the Kalim should be able to receive air. They have to be ready that the air should be made. Shine through the way you want, the way you wish. And that's why since Kalim are meyuchad with the air, they feel the air, they let the air work with them. The air is creating with the Kalim yesh me'ayin. Because we just said over here, in order to create yesh me'ayin, we have to have idea of air me'in amoyer. If Kalim would block that, then Kalim wouldn't be able to create according to their existence. In order there should be a creation of not like the Eibishter, but there should be creation, it has to be there also connect with the Eibishter. They're also one with the air. And that's the idea of the Yichud Eiris Vake. Again, sometimes it's explained in Chassidus how the Neshamas also come from Kalim, in the same simon, and the Alter Rebbe writes, but the Neshama is also a receiver of the Eibishter, also gets the Eibishter. Like you say, the Neshama should not be Teheri, the Neshama is in Adarga and Vatzilus, but even in that level, it's not like Kalim, it's not one with the Eibishter. It's not as one as Kalim. It's the Lashon is Yotzu v'nifredu me'a Kalim. They separated from Kalim, because Kalim on their own is a receiver. Kol Inyani is to reveal the nefesh, just like we'll say when they get to keiches and nefesh and the nefesh. When we see keiches, we see nefesh. We don't see less of nefesh because we hear chokhmah. Chokhmah, that's expression of the nefesh, or keicha chesed, a feeling, a status of kindness. That is the expression of nefesh. So the same thing here, the kelim and the eris is not two separate things. The kelim are revealing the eris. They're letting the air should rule over them. He says, and this is the reason also we find that there's two things that happens through the kelim. Till here he was saying that the Kelim make that there should be able to be existence of something separate from the Eibishter. But the fact is that the whole idea of Atzilus, the Memutza of Atzilus, if I can explain further, the Eibishter, in order to create our world, a limited world, from the Ein Sof of the Eibishter, we had to have Atzilus as a Memutza, a middle, so to speak, to bring over, to bridge between Ein Sof to Gvul, from Alakus to Nivroim, to separate. How did that happen? So in every Memutza has to have a little of the Elyon and a little of the Tachtin. So the Memutza of Atzilus is, there's the Eir and the Kli. The Eir is Dovuk B'Amoir, Mein Amoir, and Kelim is Gvul, Keich HaGvul. So to speak, it's on the side of the Nivroim. So that's the Memutza. That itself needs explanation. But so the question is it only in order to create Nivroim, only in order that we should also have the Tchunas of the Eibishter, just like the Eibishter has Chochmah, we should also have Chochmah? Or is it more than that? The Eibishter wanted we should know the Eibishter. We should feel the Eibishter. That's why the Eibishter made Atzilus. That's the ultimate idea of creation. Not just they should be worlds. They should be worlds that know the Eibishter, begin Yishtu Meidun Bey, and they should Yakiru Gdolose. We should know the Eibishter's greatness. How does that happen? Also through Atzilus. That's the ultimate idea. That in order there should be the idea of knowing the Eibishter should give a Yochel, made within himself the idea of Sfiras HaChochmeh. There's the idea of knowing the Eibishter in a Lakus Gufe. And thanks to that, we could know, Al Derech Moshel, a person wants to explain himself to someone else. He's never going to be able to give himself over the way he knows himself to someone else. So I'll have to sit down and define it, or to make a resume, what I could do, what I can't do, whatever. So I'll have to define it. So that's all the way he's thinking about himself, how he should give it over to someone else. So at the end of the day, it's him thinking about himself, but it's him thinking how he's going to give it over to someone else. So Al Derech Dugma is just a moshel. The same, I heard it from one of my mashpiyim. The same thing I'm going to say it in a Lakus Gufa, that the Eibishter is, so to speak, thinking about himself, revealing himself to himself, but in a way how he could come to Eilumis. And that was the idea of Chochmah Atzilus, understanding a Lakus, in order that also us, we should get it. How could we get it? If Kelim would be total Helem, a hiding of the Eibishter, how do we get it?
Where are you? I'm sorry.
Right here. V'hu Inyan. It's in the middle of the page, the end of the line is Vov Hey Vov Ayin. It's a Rosh Tevis. It's right in the middle, you see? In the middle of the page, the end of the line is V'hu Inyan. It's a Rosh Tevis. You have it?
I still don't follow what you're saying.
Which part?
Everything.
Everything.
I lost you on the...
Right in the beginning?
No, I'm sorry. What
It's fine.
I'm trying to understand is that the concept that a keli can affect the O.
Right.
I have a hard time understanding that.
Oh, what's the problem? Because Eir is Pshitos and Kelim is Shiur, Kelim is Helem. How could the one affect the other?
Yeah, and also that exactly. But what he keeps on always saying is that הכלים פועלים בהאור להיות פעולת האור כפי אופן הכלי דווקא. In other words, what I understand is that he's saying that before the power of sight goes into the eye, and before the power of hearing goes into my ear, these two lights, so to speak, they're one light, but let's say we just
two powers,
we can understand.
Yeah.
These two lights are one and the same.
Why do you say the same? The two keiches? Amal says that Chochmah and Bina?
No.
Why no?
Because he's saying that
it comes from a nefer.
The only reason why you get to see and why you get to hear, or whatever peula and the keli, chesed, whatever you want to call it, is only because once it lands into that particular vessel, that's when it reacts to it and becomes that thing.
You're saying
you can't say that. This always bothers me. He always keeps saying that. Is he going to slug this up, or this is what he thinks? This is Abba Mina? I'm sorry, I keep
No, it's fine. It's fine. It's very good. That's the way. You're supposed to learn Chassidus the way you learn Gemara.
Especially with the Rebbe Rashab.
The Rambam of Chassidus. But he's saying like this. The Eir began, the spheres that we say in Atzilus is in the Eir itself, not just in Kelim. The Eiris are 10 different Eiris. There is a Shita, the Eiris are Pshutim, and that's even much more hard to understand. according to that is your question. If it's one air, why necessarily some this came out here, this came out there? What is it? So there's a moshel for that also. The moshel of the paradise, the Ramah gives that you have a light shining in different vessels, green,
green, yellow, red,
yeah. But Chassidus doesn't like that moshel. He say it's not ultimate. It's not ultimate. It's true. There's truth to it, and there's no shit.
Because once it goes back to the recipient, how does that recipient know which one is which? If it's always dependent on the keli, then once the or goes back to its source,
how does it know to come back here?
How does it know that this is to see, this is to hear? How does in other words, let's talk about human being. How does the brain understand that once the light, you understand what I'm saying?
Right. So therefore we understand that really the keches, the different powers starts in the...
So why does he keep saying that?
But in the...
Why does he keep saying that?
Because why does he say it? Why does he say that the air is pale? Why? Because in order that the air should be pale, there's two ways it could be pale. Not the idea of seeing, the nefesh already has it. The nefesh experiencing, it says the neshama l'mayla is reyev v'shemas hakruzim hol yenim. Every day there's baskel yetzim archerev ilam labris melbin shel teira. Any other shuvu bonim shevom shuvu bonim, there's a lashon the Rebbe says didn't want to continue shuvu bonim. So there's who hears it? Who are we talking to? Just the neshama l'mayla hears it, and sometimes send messages to us too. But the neshama, when he hears it, it gets in touch with it. The idea of seeing and hearing is how I get in touch to other things besides myself. So over there, that's what it means. Now, how does that happen? That this idea of hearing and seeing should come condensed in such a way of seeing and hearing down here, a physical seeing. How did that transition happen?
It's the transition.
That's right. The air is pale kfi eif nakli means, of course I have my way of doing it, but I should do it on the terms of the keli. That needs slapshus, and it changes. So when
in other words, like for example, like something sweet.
Right. Where does it come from? Chesed. Very good.
Chesed, but it's okay.
And Chesed Gufa, you have the Kliya Chesed, and you have even higher, the Eira Chesed, the Pshittas of Chesed.
In other words, the concept of sight exists in the Or.
Right.
And it manifests itself in each Olam depending on the Keli that it goes into.
Exactly, yeah.
Okay. That's only the So he's only talking about the Chutzoniyot and how the Keli manifested, the Or manifests itself through the Keli in that particular aspect in the world.
In each world, according to the thing. Yeah, that's the whole Seder Ishtalshlos. That's exactly why.
That potential always exists within it. But I'm supposed to understand, and I guess this is where belief comes into play, right?
The belief.
I'm supposed to believe
as a spirit, you don't know.
Pashut, but at the same time, within it, there's these 10 kohot.
It makes it's easier to understand that the Eiris are Metzuyorim than the Eiris are Pshutim. It's easier. The Yesh Shitot, Chassidut puts together all the Shittas. There's an emes to the fact that it's Pshitus. There's an emes to the fact that it's Metzuyorim. Because in the Lakus, there can't be a machlekes. It's not like shittis in halacha. One person says you put the tefillin like this, and one person says like this. That could be two shittis. Right. Even that, in the source, there's two expressions of the Eibishter. But everything has to exist. You can't say, I woke up in the morning and I say, okay, the Eibishter looks like this. It's not like that. This is the Gilui Lakus they had. It's Kabbalah, Ishmi, Pishti they had. This is what they this is this aspect of the Eibishter that they revealed. How the Eibishter is Metzuyer, the fact that the Eibishter, in terms of Lashon HaChakira, so to speak, you could say the Eibishter is Tachlis HaShleimus, the ultimate complete, the everything he has, on the most complete way, or the Eibishter is Tachlis HaPshitus, beyond any description. That was basically the two sides of the coin, but really, even the one that says the Eibishter is Tachlis HaPshitus, ultimate Pshitus, if he can define the Eibishter, Memele he has everything. If he can't define him in anything, he doesn't have it, he has to have it. But the question of what kind of way does he have it? Say, because he's so not describable, so not defined, the way everything is an undefined way. But there's also two details that Air wants to tell me. There's two details that Kaden wants to tell me.
You need L'chaim for this.
You need L'chaim, you say, yeah. Other people do other things. I heard once Rabbi said he only needs a samavov and a bottle of mashke, and that's it. Rabbi can. He said samavov and a bottle of mashke goes through the whole life. He doesn't need. Anyways. Fine.
Is there a marshal for Rav and Talmud to explain?
It is V'kelim.
This his question.
Rav and Talmud is a very good marshal. I heard it, yeah. Rabbi Nosson used to say Rav and Talmud. Everything was Rav and Talmud. It is V'kelim. Rav and Talmud.
So could you give it the marshal? Could you give it over in Rav and Talmud?
Rav and Talmud. You have the way the Rav understands something, and the marshal Chassidus always says Rav and Talmud is a Rebbe and Chassid. That's the Lashon. The Frierdiker writes clearly that the marshal that heard from his father. The marshal Chassidus Rav and Talmud is Rebbe and Chassid. Shpia is only Rebbe and Chassid. Rebbe ein areich. But you can't say that the idea the Talmud's getting is the Rav doesn't know it. The Rav knows it, but the way the Rav knows it, it's on his level. He knows it on his level, which is beyond the understanding of the Talmud. The Rav has to lower himself down to bring it down in order that the Talmud should get it. And this gufa, if he's a very good Rav, he'll speak to every Talmud according to what the Talmud could take. It's bar peil, umen. But also, you're speaking about the next marshal, the next Mamorim. You're going to speak about this.
I'm asking about what he's saying. It's like Eretz and Kalim.
This idea,
the matching of Eretz and Kalim. That's what I'm trying to ask.
That the Rav, the Pashtus over here, the Vaila, will say like this: the Rav has everything in a aloof way, beyond the grasp of the Talmud. Or we'll say the Rogachover. The Rogachover will try to teach us a thesis. He'll have to break his head. He has to forget the way he thinks, because he sees one line in Tesis, he sees the whole Shas. And he knows in the Kud of the Svar, and he has to be mitzamtzum according to our understanding, but he still wants to give us some insight, something deeper. So he'll come and tell us what we could handle. And if he's a great genius, he'll be able to see each student what he could handle, and he'll give him according to his ability. All what he's doing is taking different parts of what he has within himself, different ways of seeing things. On his level, he's just lowering it down according to the Talmud.
The Talmud are the vessels.
Ah?
The Talmud are the vessels, so each vessel...
The Kalim, a Kali is a Makabel. It receives. It has capability of taking. Everyone, according to this, it's a Kali, a Makabel Eichel, a Makabel Mashke, a Makabel Chochmek, a Makabel Binah. Every person according to his way. He say even more. You have a teacher, he says, you go to a speech, someone says a speech, and he says a joke, and he says a story, and he says an insight, and he says a Yeroah. And remarkably, everyone comes home, each one comes home, says a different part. One guy comes home, says the joke, one guy says the story, one guy says the insight, one guy says the Yeroah. Why? Everyone heard a different part. This one's a clean nehi, ma'aseh b'peil. Other person is midas, he got the emotional, the psychological thing, whatever. The other guy is intellectual. So that's what he took. Everyone takes their part. Or whatever. These things go on and on and on. Someone sees a mic, says, "Oh, this is a good thing. You can use it for a shiur." Another guy sees a mic. Okay, well, I could sing on it. Every person sees it. Whatever. Everything is like this is fine. Enough.
Speaking about the Uras and Kelim and the example of Rav and Talmud.
Yeah.
Does that fit with what we learned in the beginning of the Maimer about the Gashmish Ruchnius in the Ruchnius?
That too, sure.
That the same kind of
it's the lowest level of the Rav. The lowest, right? 100%. The high, right. The Rav, the Talmud has to be standing, like we're saying over here. The Bitla Keli. Is to go on and on. The Keli, like he says, when they get to get from the Rab, the more bottle the Talmud is, that's the more he's going to get. That's when they gave a hoy necher reisis merecha. You see the Rebbe by the Fabringen, so you get much more than just hearing it on a tape. There's the more a person is undone of himself, he's more bottle, he's losing himself, then he could get in much more. It's Chassidim with go to Yechidus, and we get a Eirah for the whole life. Because before that, they made the Anoch Satzmusa, they put themselves totally on the side. They were the biggest kale, they were the most able to receive. Therefore, they were able, the Chassidim took one word, and they took them for another 80 years, they took them for 70 years. Why? Because they were kale, and they were able to receive really what the Rebbe is giving. So that took them, that they got an air, they got something. That's the Bitla Kevel air in Chanama. Yeah. Very good. Yeah, very good. Fine. Okay. It goes a little weiter. Yeah. So they're saying that the Eiris are coming into the Keli, they reveal themselves to the Keli, And it's not only that they come according to the keli, the way they come to, they tell themselves to the keli, and they rule over the kelim. That means they use out the keli for their purpose, not just they're going to come according to the keli the way the keli is going to do it. On the contrary, they're going to use out the keli, they're going to rule them. That the air affects that through the keli he's revealed, he's expressed. This is what it says. Toys lechochom yeser me'asor shlitim asher boir. The wisdom for the wise serves him more than the 10 policemen, so to speak, in the city. It gives him more strength. Why? Because he has a lot more to him. Al derech it says, achochem by him, if he's convinced to do something, it has a much more impact on him than a whip. Why? Like in Russia, when they went in the investigations, they whipped them and made nothing. They didn't say a word. They made themselves like the wall. But if they had to do something, they would jump in fire. Why? Because if the seicha by ish sichli is much more than anything else. And here Tifri is saying that the bittul that chochmah gives to the chochem is a lot greater than asor shlitam asher bo'ir. Why? Asor shlitam asher bo'ir, that's they rule over the city. They're the source of creation. They don't reveal the Eibishter in the world. They don't make a bittul in the world. Who causes bittul? That's the chochmah. He says vehein, the asor shlitam hein asor mamoris. That's the asor mamoris. They're the source of the world. The shorsham. Where did the asor mamoris come from? This is brought in many svarim, in svarim kadmein, the connection of the Esses Sfiris and the Asar Mamoris. The Shorsham Esses Sfiris datzils. Eir is the name of Chochman, Ki is the name of Bina. It go arich. Shakelim Pelim, these pulasais havus. What did the Kelim do? This is the ultimate Keli. Is the Asar Mamoris. Dibur is the ultimate Keli, the ultimate receiver. I think we spoke about another time that the other Kelims, at the end of the day, they have what they say. They're not just a receiver. The ultimate receiver is in Dibur, because Dibur itself, speech is nothing. It's what I put into it. And therefore, they're the ultimate Kelim, and they create.